Fellow citizens, patriots, and comrades, this is General Miguna Miguna speaking to you from exile in Canada. The hammer falls on Muigai Nje Meta KENYATTA, the chief despot and commander-in-chief of Mungiki and all chauvinistic Kikuyu elites. I said chauvinistic Kikuyu elites because he does not represent all Kikuyus. He leads the most tribal, chauvinistic elite in Kikuyu, the thieves that have grabbed all the land from the ordinary Kikuyu, the thieves that have turned the majority of Kikuyu people into squatters, into homeless scavengers in Kenyan cities, the thieves that have turned Kenya into a banana republic, a bankrupt basket case, the thieves that have stolen elections successively since 1963, the thieves that have stolen all public resources and turned the youth into starving, jobless, and destitutes in the Kenyan cities, towns, and villages. That is where the hammer falls. Uhuru Kenyatta is not qualified even to be what Luos call Akidede, the village chief. He failed throughout his life. Uhuru Kenyatta failed his CPE. Uhuru Kenyatta was taken to St. Mary's School in Nairobi and got all Fs. He was then taken to Amherst College in the US, where he flopped in his second year. He did not go beyond second year. Uhuru Kenyatta did not graduate in 1985. That's why Amherst College does not have his name in its graduating directory of 1985. That's why Amherst College has not put his name up like it does all its alumni. That's why Amherst College has not hosted him or celebrated him as quote-unquote a successful former student, like it always does all its most successful students, like all foreign universities do. In fact, foreign and local universities do. There is no university or college that does not celebrate its former student who becomes a president, a legitimate president. Amherst College has not celebrated this man because he's a failure. Uhuru Kenyatta is even a failure within the Kenyatta family. He was once given a restaurant and bar to run in Hurlingham, and he spent all his time smoking ganja, taking drugs, drinking, and basically playing around until the business went under. Uhuru Kenyatta was then put on a stipend by Muhoho Kenyatta, his younger brother. He was given handouts on a daily basis so that he could spend most of his time drinking in Githurai. Uhuru Kenyatta, by the time Moi plucked him from obscurity and imposed him on Kenyans as a nominated member of parliament, after Arap Toh had been forced to relinquish his nominated MP's position, was nothing, was a nobody, had never held a job, had never earned a living, had never had any experience, had no certificate, not even a primary school certificate. Uhuru Kenyatta has messed up Kenyans' lives, has messed up the country, bankrupted the country, because he has never managed even a chicken coop. Uhuru Kenyatta is not capable of managing even a chicken coop, where chickens lay eggs and defecate. This is a patented failure that has now been put on Kenyans by force, by some despotic, chauvinistic Kikuyu elite that are in charge of the military and intelligence in Kenya. Somehow, somebody wants to convince Kenyans that a Kikuyu must be the president or prime minister or head of all important institutions. The treasury, the military, the intelligence, the civil service, the Attorney General's chambers, State House, Arambe House, everything that is important is allegedly supposed to be headed by a Kikuyu. Yet there is nothing unique about being a Kikuyu elite. There is nothing unique. We have all gone to school with Kikuyus, including Kikuyu elites. They don't do better than us in school. In fact, it is always known that a lot of the so-called rich Kikuyus never crack it in school, never crack it in professional institutions, never crack it in business, never crack it in professional life. Some of the best lawyers are not Kikuyus. The best scientists are not Kikuyu elites. The best accountants are not Kikuyu elites. The best engineers are not Kikuyu elites. The best doctors are not Kikuyu elites. There is nothing uniquely edifying about being a Kikuyu elite. Just like being a Luo elite, being a Luya elite, being a Kalenjin elite, being a Pokomo elite. An elite is just an elite. That's it. Throughout history, the history of Kenya, the children of the poor have done much better in everything than the children of the rich. But somehow, they want to artificially make it look like money is leadership. Money is not leadership. Raw power does not give anyone vision. And Uhuru Kenyatta lacks vision. Article 142(2) of the Constitution of Kenya says, the term of president shall not be for more than 2 terms. No person shall hold office of president for more than 2 terms. Muigai Meta has been an illegitimate president of Kenya since 2013. He was imposed, or he imposed himself as the president of Kenya in 2017 through electoral fraud. And he remained president through brute force. Uhuru killed Chris Msando. Let Raila and his zombies not lie to Kenyans. Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta killed Chris Msando. He killed Chris Msando after torturing him and mutilating his body because he knew he did not win the election. The conman Raila Odinga won the election. That's why I swore him in. I swore him in so that we could get electoral justice. But the conman is so cowardly that he refused to take power. He refused to even be a titular head of a movement to transform Kenya, which is what NRM was. NRM Kenya was formed to transform Kenya, to make it into a merit-based society, to stop people like Meta from institutionalizing impunity, and to stop the plunder that has been going on since 1963. NRM Kenya was formed to ensure that equity prevailed, to ensure that merit prevailed in public service, that integrity becomes the overriding value in public service. NRM Kenya was formed to ensure that we would not be suppressed and repressed by oligarchs, by elite chauvinists like Uhuru Meta. But Raila Odinga feared that transformation because he knows that his children and family members are so inept, are so mediocre, just like Uhuru Kenyatta's, are total failures, and that the only way they can maintain their artificial privilege and wealth is to continue with the dysfunctional, mediocre, tyrannical regime that Uhuru presides over. He is happier that way because Kenyans would then not be able to know that for 30 years, Raila has done nothing but manipulate the people, turned Luos into beggars, into paupers, into ignorant zombies in order for him, his family, and the families of elite chauvinists like Uhuru Meta to dominate them. Because it is easier to dominate the ignorant. It is easier to dominate the poor. It is easier to dominate the jobless. It is easier to dominate the homeless. It is easier to dominate the destitute. That is what Uhuru and Meta are doing. They are using the BBI to manipulate the people, to blindfold them into thinking that somehow this is an instrument to fight Ruto. Ruto all of a sudden has emerged as the face of corruption. Yet we all know that the Kenyatta, Moi, Odinga family and other families that have been in KANU for more than 50 years have looted and plundered Kenya to the tune of hundreds of trillions. It's not comparable to what Ruto has stolen. He's a thief, yes. I've said that many times. And yes, we must stop Ruto, but we must stop Ruto starting at the top with Uhuru Meta. We must stop Uhuru Kenyatta from mutating into a life despot, which is what he wants to be. Raila Odinga is happy even to be Uhuru's cook, or Uhuru's kitchen cleaner, or Uhuru's toilet cleaner. Raila Odinga is very happy even if he were to be nothing but a puppet running around like a peacock with no power, like he doesn't have power right now. He's very happy as long as the fundamental structure of the Kenyan state is not going to be transformed. Raila Odinga suffers from low self-esteem, just like Uhuru Kenyatta does, because they have not, they have been failures throughout their lives. As I have said repeatedly, Raila Odinga did not finish primary school. He left grade or standard 6 after beating up a teacher, hitting a teacher with a stone at Maranda Intermediate and being expelled. The teacher was called Oremo. Raila was expelled. Then Odinga shipped off his useless son to East Germany, where again Raila did not finish the village polytechnic where he attended. When Raila came to Kenya, he was hired at the University of Nairobi as a lab technician. He was not teaching engineering at the University of Nairobi. Raila Odinga does not have a bachelor's degree in engineering. Raila does not have a bachelor's degree in anything. Notwithstanding that, Raila has no experience in anything other than throwing stones and manipulating Luos, turning them into zombies for his own self-aggrandizement. The point here is this. The point I am making is this. Raila Odinga and Uhuru Kenyatta have come together in a cynical conspiracy to turn Kenya into a private estate of the Kenyattas, the Mois, and the Odingas. And to Raila Odinga, it does not matter if Uhuru Kenyatta continues to be the monarch that he is, and Raila Odinga continues to straddle the Kenyan, space, walking on red carpets, but with absolutely no power, as long as Uhuru Kenyatta allows him to continue stealing from the public coffers. Raila Odinga perpetuated the Triton scandal. Raila Odinga stole 11 billion from kazi kwa vijana. Raila Odinga brought down Mumias with Kidero. He borrowed 300 million that he has not paid back. Raila Odinga grabbed the Kisumu molasses plant. Raila Odinga is as corrupt as a skunk. Uhuru is the chief despot. Uhuru is the chief looter. Uhuru has presided over the worst looting spree in Kenya's history. Uhuru is the benefactor of Anne Waiguru. And these are supposed to be Raila's new alliance members. These are the people that you are being told will be Kenya's new superclass. Anne Waiguru, Alfred Mutua, another thief, Maina Kamanda, another thief, and many others. Kenyans must say no to this cynical ploy, because we know that the BBI handshake was a private arrangement between Raila Odinga and Uhuru Kenyatta to perpetuate impunity, to institutionalize impunity. And they are determined to ensure that we will never ever have a free, fair, and credible election in Kenya. That is why we must stop the BBI. It is a poisoned product of a poisoned conspiracy. Mobilize. Stand up for your rights. Stop this cynical ploy. In case you'd like to order my books, for those who are in the continent of Africa, Asia, the Middle East, you can go to www.nuria.co.ke. Nuria is Nuria. Nuria.co.ke. For those in North America, go to www.integritylimited.com. Integritylimited.com. Thank you very much.